Some would call it swag, some would call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to Williams-Brice Stadium, home of the South Carolina Gamecocks. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Pittsburgh Panthers, taking on last year's national champions, the South Carolina Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. And the Gamecocks will put toe to leather and we'll get started. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Leaves it with the running back. Just ran over it. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create second and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. They go to the ground. Stop behind the line. He'll lose a yard.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
It'll be a run on 3rd and short. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
Man, this is a defense that prides themselves on stopping the run, and that is a huge statement on their opponent's opening drive of the game. 3rd and short, they don't just get a stop. They get a tackle for loss. That sends a very clear message that they're going to be the more physical side today.
The one thing that can derail this offense, a bunch of 3 and outs. They won't do that here, but they might go 4 and out if they don't convert. He works his way up to the 33 and is pushed out of bounds.
It just must be so nice to be such a good athlete and to realize 4th down, I want to pass the football, nobody open, I got this. I can take off, I trust myself, and he gets the 1st down. And these are the ones that just frustrate, annoy defenses by 4th down on your own side of the field, and he just took matters into his own hands.
And that's why you always want to be pursuing the football. QB scrambling, he rolls out to the right, but don't quit if you're on defense. to him, they hit him, and force the incompletion.
Gets it out quick. Really good pickup on second down there. Leaves them with 3rd and 2.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
He'll keep it himself. They got 0 push up front, and they stopped him in the backfield.
That's got to hurt if you're the offense, because you're thinking with this quarterback and his size and his athleticism, that's going to be an easy first down pickup on the option play. But how about the physicality up front by this defense, stuffing him at the line of scrimmage?
I like this call in plus territory. The punt would have to be so precise, might as well leave the offense out there on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Looking to the big tight end. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a first down. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
And they're showing you their intentions early in the game. It's 4th down. You're in your own end. We're going to be aggressive, and we're not just going to do this early. We're going to do this all game long. Awesome execution on a critical down.
Pittsburgh has a really nice drive going. Looking to throw on first down. Looking left. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. Takes it the other way. At the 30. The 10. Touchdown, Gamecocks. The defense gets it done with that huge interception return. What a play by this defense with the pick 6.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, return to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. You want to know what impact home field advantage can have? There it is. The offense will walk it back. Here's the snap. Ready to cut one loose. Fires to the right. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, this guy shot out of the cannon. 2 catches on the opening drive, and finally going back to him again. This time, they don't hook up, but he's a guy that needs to touch the football often, and I think this offense has to keep trying to find ways to get him involved.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Soft spot in the middle. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket.
Breaks into the open. Runs through the tackle. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Ball down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
Well, the offense is in a really nice rhythm right now. It seems like no matter what they're dialing up, they're getting positive yards, and it just feels so good as a play caller when you know on first down you can get yards like that turning around and handing it off.
Yeah, and on the other side, you're scratching your head going, look.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
And they get to the quarterback and get the sack. That's a big emphasis for this defense. They saw a week ago, this offense gave up 3 sacks. They need to get to him early and often and create some indecision. Nice job getting a sack early in this football game.
And the Panthers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Rolling, throwing, looking right. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on second down. They're scaring at third.
Well, I love the effort by the quarterback, right? Gets a little bit of pressure. He's able to scramble to his right, extend the play, and he tried to take a shot deep down the field, just not on the same page with his intended target.
As the rooster crows, they are getting cocky and cockier on third down here. He'll take another shot here. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down.
I want to give a shout out to the defense there on third down, doing a really nice job disguising their coverage because it looked like they confused the quarterback on third down. Really nice job getting back into that zone and making sure that ball falls incomplete.
Takes it on the return. Bottled him up, not a whole lot of room to run on that return, and that's how this period will come to an end. We've reached the break. It's South Carolina holding the lead, and we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. First play of the period, first down here. He might want another play. Dropping back, it's Hayden. Makes the grab. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. The Gamecocks come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Back to pass on second down. It's complete to the left. Gets it to the 42-yard line, and that's a first down.
And you'd like to see the defense play a little bit tighter on those short yard situations. They give up the first down, and they better get ready because you can tell they're right back on the ball to run.
Running free. Inside the touchdown, Gamecocks. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
And it's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short, and he did the rest of the work.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they close the deal with a 58-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
The Panthers with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Wants to go up top. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
Man, this defense is dominating all game long. They have been making this quarterback's life so difficult with their pass rush. They bring him down there for the sack. They're not giving anything up. They're leading this game by a lot. We're only in the second quarter, and this ain't going to change unless this offense can find a rhythm.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They've already put a couple of scores up, and they look to add to it on this drive. Got his man quickly. Trying to get it in. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7. And the Gamecocks will hustle to the line.
Well, the play fake on the RPO bought the receiver some time to work himself open on the route. That was a man-to-man coverage on the defense. Nice job by the receiver putting his foot in the ground and separating.
Quarterback just flat missed him. Incomplete.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to steamroll his way in. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
On 3rd and goal, they'll throw it. Touchdown, South Carolina! Quick strike through the air for the score.
All you can say is how impressive has this team been at home today in all 3 facets of the game. Their defense has been outstanding. We've seen some plays in special teams, and the offense continues to deliver, showing off all of the playmakers and all of the versatility they have on that side of the football. This could not be better here in the first half for the home team.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Boom. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll leave it with him. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
All season long, we've been watching this defense dominate against the run. They're the #1 rush defense in the entire country. With a big lead in this game, you cannot run the ball and expect to win and get back in it.
Flushed out of the pocket. Gets rid of it. Snares it outside. It's Travis. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Receivers work tirelessly, tapping that toe along the sideline, and it just looks so natural for him.
Yeah, it can't just be pat and go all the time, right? Reese just jogging down the field, ball hits you right in stride. You got to be able to make awkward body catches and do it getting your feet in bounds. That was sweet.
On 3rd and short, they'll try to convert through the air. He's got it down the left. They got him free for a big gainer to the 43.
Wow, they've been waiting for that play, right? They haven't been throwing it a lot. They've been real sluggish. They've got no points on the scoreboard. And now they come up with an explosive play in the passing game to get them in a position to score some points here, hopefully a touchdown, before this first half closes out.
Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10. Toss to the outside. And some room to work. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. Hey, no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a ball.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Throws for the tight end. Wide open downfield. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
Yeah, I tell you what, these big-body tight ends that can catch the football in the corner routes, it doesn't have to be a perfect throw. You know, usually you got littler guys, it's hard. You got to put the ball more on the money, but this big dude can just go up and get it. You just throw it near the sidelines, he'll do the rest.
Rushes on him. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions, giving up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz, because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. They go to the wide receiver screen. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. They've converted twice on 4th down so far. Will they make it 3? He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Spits it out to the back. Converts on 4th down. Still going. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8. So they gamble on 4th down in the first half, and man, does it pay off.
4th and long. I mean, what just 4th and short? Nowadays, man, so much aggression in college football. And how about right there, 4th down and long? No problem. I got this in the first half.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh! Great job by the back on the option.
Man, you just know that offense, they needed that touchdown to try to build some momentum. Hasn't really been going great early in this game, but a nice job being physical at the point of attack and pay it off with the score. And maybe that's just the play they needed to turn this thing around.
And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. An 84-yard drive there, and it was capped off with the 8-yard run. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. Something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. To the air, it's Hayden. Under fire. They get to him as he throws. Look out, he's got room. How about this freshman leading him on the chase and making the big play after the catch?
And you just could not allow that to happen defensively, giving up a big play like that. They're going to need to now play with some sense of urgency if they're not going to give up any points here before the end of the half.
That last play is the kind of thing the offense can really build some momentum on, and now they've got it 1st and 10 outside the 40. He's looking deep. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Going the other way, and he's got room. Nice pickup, gets it to the 20. They move the sticks, and they can still stop the clock.
And you wonder if that interception is going to bring this guy back down to reality a little bit. He was lights out early in this game. Everything he was throwing was right on the money. And That might have been a decision where he got a little bit greedy, and David, the defense made him pay.
And this defense has seen it time and time. They've been throwing the football, having success. Nice job adjusting, breaking on the football, making a play. They needed to break serve. They needed something to happen to go their way to kind of mess this guy's rhythm up. That might be the start of it.
Trying to beat the D deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Yeah, and I love taking deep shots. I think it makes cornerbacks play honest, safeties play honest, and you can tell just missed a little bit deep on that shot. But listen, those are shots that we want to take because the risk is definitely worth the reward.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Toss sweep to the right. Creates a little space. Turning it on! And I wasn't sure they were going to be able to catch him. They finally did, but they gave up a huge play.
When you've got the kind of speed you've got on this offense, you have to attack the perimeter of the field. They do it right there on the pitch play.
The old student body right. Everybody out there and everybody got their block and created a big play.
Yeah, it just seemed like the defense was slow reacting to it, too. You didn't see anybody sprinting out wide or sealing that and forcing it back in. They're going to see that pitch play again. They better be ready for it.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. To the air on first down. Throws to the tight end. Lost, the defense is wide open. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal. He'll try to put one down the boulevard from 42 yards out. They'll use a timeout right before halftime, maybe time for one or two more plays. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. He'll try to put one down the boulevard from 42 yards out. Not a chance. Missed it. Guys, a missed field goal and nothing changes. Still a 14-point game.
Well, they knew coming into this game touchdowns were going to be real hard to come by going up against this defense. So when you got opportunities to kick field goals, you've got to come away with 3 points. You're not going to get these chances very often.
They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Looking to throw, it's Hayden. He hurls one deep down the left side. Got it in stride inside the 20. They finally get him stopped. Man, oh man, did he almost make a play to end this half, but stopped on a touchdown-saving tackle. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Pitt will try to boot this thing deep to start the second half. Out of the end zone. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. They had this lead to start the third quarter because of the passing game. Didn't get a lot done on the ground.
They did, but the quarterback is in a rhythm. That was obvious in the first half. And so this first drive, you want to continue that. You want to see good decision-making. You want to see him playing on time. And as always, delivering the football.
I mean, I don't know how I don't give him the football. It's the reason I built the lead. He's the guy that I can trust. This offense is built around him. So I expect more of the same here in the second half.
The Gamecocks can really attack on this second and short. Looking to fire. The screen, he's got wheels. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. And the Gamecocks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Snagged out of the air. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down. The Gamecocks want to pick up the tempo. Back to throw, it's Hayden. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. Fires to the wideout. And they can't make the connection, and it could get worse. A penalty flag on the field, and it's in the holding zone. Let's get the call. That offensive line grabbing and holding on, and they'll back up and try it again. First down here for the offense. Might be changing the route. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They've got to get the football to the 32 to pick up the first down. Wants to keep it in the air. Got it in the middle. It's Frazier. And it is a good idea to gang tackle. First guy couldn't get him. Second guy finally did.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Looking to scramble. He's going to run it. They'll get him out of bounds and mark it at the 21.
I love fighting for extra yards, and I'm going to encourage every single one of my running backs, receivers, and tight ends to do it. Just not my quarterback. I really got to understand, listen, play's over, get down on the ground, don't take too many of those big shots.
All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
When I think you're seeing the mental approach this offense is taking now, with a nice lead here late in the third quarter, they're satisfied to just run the ball and chip away at this clock. This has been a really good-looking drive. Plenty of plays. They're staying on the field. They're bleeding and ticking this clock away. Nice job there getting it done on the ground.
Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
And it's now the second time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And they knock through the extra point, and they're up 28-7. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Gentlemen, that pivotal top 15 battle is in the books. Here's how things went down. TCU looked less like a pack of frogs and more like a group of road warriors in a solid victory. This team almost always plays tough in front of its home fans, and today they found a way outside of Carter Stadium. Iron sharpens iron, and you just know a top 15 matchup like this is going to go a long way in telling the story of each of these teams' seasons.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those five guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those five offensive linemen.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
Finds a spot in the middle. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37. That's now 200 catches in his career.
It's so impressive because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David, week in, week out. He shows up, and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football, you know where he's going to be. That's why he's got 200 catches.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, that receiver's looking at his teammates like, guys, what's up? You're not going to block for me on the screen? Seriously? I just lost yards on a screenplay. How does that happen?
To the air on second down. Finds his back in the middle. And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
This Pitt offense has been clicking on this drive. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking downfield on first down. Makes the grab over the middle. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
They've got a solid drive working, but now looking at 2nd and 11. Wants to go up top. Looking to the big tight end. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. Looking for more room. He'll go out of bounds, but he gets the ball back, takes it the other way, and he has created a great sudden change opportunity. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. There have been few obstacles for this offense as they are starting to pull away here in the second half, Jesse.
And this has been a dream game for this play caller, too, right? It's like anything that he's calling is working flawlessly.
Yeah, it's fun to be the offensive coordinator, but not the defensive coordinator. They have had no answers. It's been an absolutely miserable day trying to solve the riddle of this offense.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Looking downfield, it's Hayden. Finds his big tight end. He picks up 4. That'll leave them with 3rd and 6. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Ball at the 31, 3rd and short coming, defense trying to rise up. They'll try to get the first through the air. The screen, and watch out. There he goes. Into the end zone unimpeded, except for that piece of laundry on the field. This might be coming back. That's the end of the quarter, and South Carolina has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. He's inside the 35. They'll spot it at the 34. Not enough for the first down, and let's see what they do on 4th.
Great job by the receiver catching that curl route. And did you see the way he came back to the football? That's a great lesson for a lot of young receivers out there. You create separation by coming back to the quarterback.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. Grabbed in the middle, it's Frazier. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect 4th down call there. And the Gamecocks getting set on 1st and 10. To the air. It's Hayden. Snagged in the middle. It's Frazier. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
An outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now late in the game, you got the lead. That first down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the day.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Gamecocks. That's what finishing the deal looks like. Build the lead in the 4th quarter and close in on 11 straight victories. I can hear the defensive coordinator in the next booth yelling, "Wrap up! You have to wrap up!"
Bring your feet, 4 points of contact. You hear all those stuff from your defensive coaches. But you know what? Sometimes the guy's just better than you. He makes a play and gets in the end zone.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. And he'll bring it back. And the coverage team able to make the... The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did on the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
Keeps it moving for a 3-yard gain to the 24.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They'll try to run for it. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it, but the defense, they've risen to the...
Big tight end makes the grab, 1st down, still on his feet. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together.
It's a fumble. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
And ball security is starting to become a little bit of an issue for this quarterback. In his last game, he had a fumble, and he has another one right here. He has got to do a better job of keeping 2 hands on the ball.
On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
He's going to lose a yard on that one. It seems so inviting to try to get the ball outside, but this defense is so fast, you just end up running sideways.
And when you don't have any misdirection or something else to look at before you pitch that ball on the perimeter, A lot of times those guys can play even faster. They can see it right now. Those safeties fly up, those corners fly up, outside backers fly up, and get in the play immediately.
Wants to throw. It's Hayden. Makes the grab. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. The Gamecocks will try to pick it up on 4th down. The officials stop the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Unleashes one. Hauls it in easily enough for the 1st down. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
And how about this squad, man? Looking good again. Like, I feel like we say this week in and week out, just continuing to remain undefeated, whatever it takes, offense, defense, special teams. They have been a good unit, and that's why their ranking is so high.
And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Big one this week in the SEC. Heck, they're all big ones in that conference. West Virginia is in the unusual position of having to come from behind right now, but there's not a soul who doesn't believe they can't pull this off. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Auburn. It's an outcome that, if it holds, will have SEC fans buzzing all week. Guys?
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Quick screen to the speedster out wide. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Nice job by the defense. That's what you're supposed to do. As soon as they catch the football, you want to limit that yards after the catch. And he went nowhere after the catch. Nice job by the D.
2nd down, he'll throw it. He wants a big play here late. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. Now backed up in their own end. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Quick strike complete. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a 1st down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
A lot of times those draw plays are successful when those defensive linemen run up the field, rush the quarterback, create some holes. Not this time. The defensive line did a really good job understanding that, seeing the draw play, getting the running back, getting his butt on the ground.
He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the 1st down. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
Looking down the middle. Big man has it. It's a 1st down and more. And they'll pick up the 1st down and mark it at the 47. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. Looking to throw on 1st down. Throws for the tight end. Complete to the left. Really putting together a threat now. They get the 1st. It's at the 37.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
Pittsburgh going to work with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on 1st down. He'll pull it down and run. Oh, he's got some space. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet. Likely a lost cause, but they'll throw it again. Fires on the move. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize, if you will. In a lot of losses, you just want to burn the tape. You don't want to watch it. But I think there are some things that they can take into next week from this performance.
No doubt. Offense is about finding your rhythm, finding your groove, what you do well. And you can tell, at least now, starting to get a little something going that maybe you can build.
On to attempt the try. And it's up and good. Undeterred by this huge deficit in the last half minute, they'll line up for the onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done. This is what you're looking for when you have the better team. Go out and show it. Don't fool around with them. Go out and play to a standard of excellence.
Just dominant. You know you're going to take care of business. You know you're going to win. It's like how many? How many can I win by? And I like that you keep your foot on the gas and just continue to pile it on. It's their job to stop you. Let them do their job. You just keep going on.
It's not about the X's and the O's. It's the Jimmies and the Joes. This is why recruiting is so important in college football. They just had better players. More physical. They were faster, and it showed today.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation.